Nothing plucks the heartstrings of the American spirit like an open road. Oh, I'm not talking about those rivers of concrete which lure us with stable speeds and zero surprises. I'm talking about the highways and byways that really stitch this crazy quilt of a country together. Why, on roads like this, anything can happen. Consider cuisine. Interstates give you culinary conformity, but out here, flavors change with the contour of the land, and words like hospitality take on old meanings. Why, I bet down around that curve there's a cafe, diner, tea room, or truck stop where the waitresses still call you hun and the cooks actually cook. How do I know? I don't. But I've got a map and a motorcycle and a month to find out. I'm Alton Brown. This is Feasting on Asphalt. We have now feasted ourselves from the coast of South Carolina through the Smokies, across the prairie, over the Rockies, and into the convection oven that is Monument Valley. We have consumed everything in our path from soul food to steak to fry bread to fried brains. Rolling into Monument Valley feels like riding on Mars. Navajo legend states that the gods used these sandstone mesas and buttes as their stepping stones when they first created the earth. Must have made them hungry. I know riding through them makes me hungry. Hungry for hash browns. You know, the problem with hash browns is that although they are very simple, producing them is not necessarily easy. What I need to find is a kitchen. Tom rides ahead to scratch my itch. What he finds are the meddlers, Woody and Linda, who welcome us into their house on wheels.
This is a microwave convection oven.
Okay. So you can bake anything in
I can bake anything in here. Okay. I love it. And dishes over here, pots and pans down here.
Right.
This is a pantry full of food and so forth. Refrigerator, freezer over here.
Wow. This is more food than I have at home.
And a freezer, double freezer up above with an ice maker.
With an ice maker. Very nice.
Once upon a time, RVs looked like this. Okay, there wasn't a lot of recreating in covered wagons, but the concept of getting the family out on the road has been around at least that long. Henry Ford and his cronies made car camping the rage around the turn of the last century, and by the 1920s, homemade houses built on top of Model T chassis were a common sight. In the post-war years, trailers made RVing affordable, but the real advance came with the launch of the self-enclosed land yacht, which placed the steering wheel inside the trailer. Today's motorhomes, like the Meddlers, are constructed on bus chassis and feature expandable sides which make for spacious living. The Meddlers, by the way, sold their home in San Francisco to live in their land yacht year-round. Now, the first step to making great hash browns is to grate them into water. That helps remove excess starch so they won't be gluey. I really would like to have a bigger grater, but, you know, you use what you've got. The next thing you need, good quality fat. I like bacon fat. And you need the right seasoning. What the heck is this? Emerald! He's everywhere. Bam! All right, we'll use some Emerald essence. I've been in very close proximity to Emerald Lagasse, and I'll tell you if this smells like him or not. No, that's not what the essence of Emerald. Emerald's a lot muskier than that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you ready?
Bam!
More percussive.
I was waiting for the seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Bam!
Much better.
Bam!
Delayed reaction.
Oh, he snuck that one in on you. Oh, he snuck one in on me.
Technique is important too with hash browns. You don't want to stir them too often. Just toss every now and then so you get a nice crusty exterior and a creamy interior. Go ahead. Just taste my coffee.
You folks would not believe how much coffee he uses to make a cup of coffee. Would not believe it. He brought a pound of coffee. I think he used
It's not too much coffee. I didn't put too much coffee in there. That wasn't too much coffee. Everything's okay. I'm going to get back over here.
Yes, it's true. Give this one more shot.
We can add a little bit of water. You want to add a little bit of water?
The cup's not big enough to add enough water.
Woody may have turned his nose up at my coffee, but he didn't have any trouble choking down a few over-easy eggs or...
Just look at it.
bacon, which everybody loves. He also didn't mind me doing all the dishes.
Like right now.
With our minds off our stomachs, we are able to steer towards one of the more interesting destinations of the trip. Last night, over dinner, we met a Navajo woman named Linda who invited us to a party she's throwing in honor of her new grandchild. Authentic Navajo dishes will be prepared, including mutton stew, which I've always wanted to learn. We stop for groceries and head to Linda's place in Kayenta, Arizona. And there's Linda, who besides being a devoted Good Eats fan, is a potter, weaver, and a fine cook. Our first chore, fry bread. Having had a successful go at this back in Colorado, I figure I'll impress her with my moves. I don't. So we move to prepping mutton stew, which requires a fair amount of slicing and dicing and boning. I feel that I redeem myself a bit here, though Linda still seems suspicious of my skills. Since there are a lot of folks to fill, Linda builds her mutton stew on a Mac Daddy propane burner. Mutton, by the way, is sheep that is at least a year old. Most of what you find in the Megamart is lamb, which is tender but less tasty. Besides carrots, onion, and celery, there's zucchini, tomato, and hominy corn in there, which will absorb a good bit of the liquid. That's a good one. We turn our attention to the bread, which, since it's going to be grilled, is referred to as dry bread rather than fry bread. Once again, I prove myself utterly inept.
So this is my excuse for grill bread, dry bread. This is my excuse for dry bread. It's pretty crappy. Hello. This one looks like Hitler. See, I got to. Now we will eat. This is dry bread.
Say nanescare.
Nanescare?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Nanescare.
Yeah.
And we put
Once the bread is done, we move on to more serious grilling. Besides mutton steaks, we cook lamb intestines wrapped around beef fat. Very tricky. As they cook, they literally spit out fat like angry caterpillars, and it immediately catches on fire. Tricky stuff. We also cook a bunch of big green chilies that aren't too terribly hot. And the strangest of all, slabs of fat taken from around a cow's stomach, which is considered a Navajo delicacy. Next up, we chow down in Kayenta. Back in Kayenta, we prepare to feast. There's the fry bread and the dry bread, and blue cornmeal mush, which reminds me a lot of a Hawaiian poi, kind of a pudding that is served as a base for the mutton stew, which, as you can see, has soaked up almost all of the liquid that it was cooking. Oh, speaking of blue food, slow roasted wild pine nuts, which my hosts laughed at me for eating shell and all, but I thought they were very, very tasty. Also tasty, the Navajo tea, brewed from an herb called green thread. Tastes like strong English tea, but without the bitterness. My favorite dish, Navajo tacos, dry bread wrapped around grilled chili and mutton steak. Very tasty indeed. We eat heartily throughout the afternoon and enjoy each other's company. This isn't my world, and I know it. So do my hosts. But there is never a moment when they don't make us feel welcome. Their hospitality is genuine and moving. Well, it seems like we found ourselves another regional candy. This one out of St. Joseph's, Missouri. This one also has cherries in it, like the last one, and it also has that kind of mound shape. But this one has recipes on the back. Let's listen, gentlemen, because this is what we're making for dessert tonight. Cherry mash pudding. Melt 2 cherry mash bars and pour over cornstarch or tapioca pudding. Chill. Serve with cream. Or a cherry mash sundae. Melt 2 cherry mash bars with 2 tablespoons of milk. While still warm, pour over vanilla ice cream. Serves 5 or 6. Yum. Following the last situation that we had with our candy, no one is willing to eat this but me. Now, that is shockingly
This is like a 1-mound version of the 2-mound Bing device that we had. How many people want to bet that this is pink inside? Pink, pink, pink.
Pink, pink.
Yeah, 5. No, that's the pudding version. 5 with pink on the inside.
Blue.
Blue.
Yes.
You say it's blue on the inside.
Berry.
It's blue.
Red.
Red.
And it tastes exactly the same.
No,
It's better?
this is by far superior. No.
He's tricking you.
No, I'm not.
More flavor here.
That's much better. It actually tastes like cherries.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's almost coconutty in the middle.
More artificial flavor.
Well, there may not be much artificial flavor, but I'll tell you right now, that color does not occur in nature except on certain poisonous Amazon frogs, which may be what they...
We press westward through some of the most breathtaking landscapes we've encountered so far. We'd love to stop, but we're scheduled to meet up with some chuck wagon reenactors for dinner and breakfast just outside of Las Vegas. By the time we make Indian Springs, we're dead tired and still have several miles of crunchy gravel track to traverse. Everything seems fine, but suddenly, a baby bunny rabbit jumps out in front of my bike. I swerve, lose traction, and... Not exactly feasting on asphalt, more like dying on gravel. Actually, I don't think I'm dying, but the gravel was a little too deep for me. I think I'll just rest here for a second. My old thing of weebles wobble, but they don't fall down didn't turn out to be 100% true. Oh, that's my mirror.
So, Alton, don't worry about your stinking mirror.
Oh, my mirror came off. Somebody hold that for me. Showing that they have their priorities in order, the guys pick up the bike first. Damage doesn't seem too bad. I can't say so much for myself. As they walk me to the truck for the long and bumpy ride to the hospital, I can't help but wonder, is the bunny okay? I'd never know.
As my nerve endings come back to life, there's one thing I do know for sure. This ride, for me, is over.
All right, dear, tell me what's happening.
Well, we've had a little unexpected drama. Alton's bike hit a patch of loose gravel and hit the ground. Along with Alton, and his shoulder appears to be perhaps broken, we don't know. He's off going to the hospital now. Trust me, that was not a stunt double. That was really him.
We just pulled up, got him into the emergency room, and his shoulder seems to be in pretty bad shape, and he seems to have some rib issues. Other than that, we don't know. The bike should be fine, but he's a little shaken up and in a lot of pain, and they don't want me bringing cameras in, so I've got to be diplomatic about how I do this. So we'll see how far we can get in there with some cameras, but Alton wants to document this.
No, doctor, don't cut! Please don't cut, no!
You can't go in there and put that camera down.
Please, I'm begging you, just don't cut, okay? Don't cut!
It's gotta come off.
No, okay, but let me do it myself. I'll do it myself, I promise.
Fine. We'll give you 5 minutes, and then I'm coming back with scissors.
Okay. Man obviously has no clue what good riding leathers cost. Now, if I don't look quite as beat up as I did a few minutes ago, it's because this is one of those hokey TV reenactments. You see, we shot in the actual hospital, but they didn't want to sign off on the necessary releases, so I'll tell you about it. Taking off this jacket, extraordinarily painful, but once I did get it off, they got an IV going, and the painkillers began to flow. And of course, they took some x-rays, and that's where things really went downhill.
Mr. Brown, you got a fracture of the right clavicle.
What's that mean?
Pain and inconvenience, mostly.
Oh. Well, when can I get back on a motorcycle?
When the sling comes off.
How long will that be?
That's 6 weeks, if you take it easy.
If I take it easy.
As the painkillers kick in, I fall into a fitful slumber, dreaming of chuck wagons. Along with Henry Ford, Colonel Sanders, and Fred Harvey, Charles Goodnight belongs in the high pantheon of road food for inventing the chuck wagon. In 1866, he and a partner were making arrangements to herd 2,000 longhorns from northern Texas to Denver. Goodnight bought an Army surplus Studebaker wagon and rebuilt it to include a sloping box on the back with a hinged lid that lowered to become a table. The design allowed for storage of staples like flour and bacon, as well as the heavy iron Dutch ovens in which a great majority of cowboy cuisine, or chuck, was cooked. The food that came out of such vehicles was simple and sturdy. Long-cooked beans, coffee, biscuits, and beef were staples. One cowboy diary from the period refers to eating fried steak twice a day for 20 days. Not that he dared complain to the cook or cookie. On any given drive, only the trail boss was a more respected or feared critter than the cook, who ruled over the camp and often served as doctor, banker, barber, and psychologist. Today, a handful of chuck wagoners like these folks from Curly Q Camp in Vegas keep the history alive through authentic and tasty recreations of period meals like fried steak, biscuits, and salt pork gravy. While I sucked on chipped ice, my crew enjoyed just such a meal.
Mr. Brown?
Yes?
I've written you something for pain.
Oh, thanks very much.
Hey, by the way, can you get me tickets to Emerald Live?
Well, day 23 of our little adventure, and we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, or actually, we're leaving Las Vegas, Nevada. America's Playground was a pretty good place for me to attempt to recuperate from my little run-in with the gravel, but to tell you the truth, there's no road food here. West, that's where it is. Well, we're speeding across the Mojave Desert, California, and I think there's just something prophetic about the fact that I'm heading to Los Angeles in a car, and it's like automobiles and LA, they're inescapably intertwined with each other. LA is, of course, really the heart of American car culture, and most of the restaurants that we associate with, well, American culture, the drive-in, the drive-through, the walk-up, are all, if not inventions of the West Coast, and actually they're not inventions of the West Coast, but because of the car culture that came out of the West Coast, that is where they find their true identity, their truest expressions. Take, for instance, the drive-through window. Now, several Southern California joints have laid claim to this, including the Pig Stand number 21, which tried the concept out as early as 1931. Jack in the Box and McDonald's, which had always made their livings off of walk-up business, started adding drive-thrus in the 1980s. And today, most fast food is consumed in complete isolation by people operating heavy machinery. Our heavy machinery gets spit out of the Mojave Desert onto California 15, which winds south to Rialto, California, and there we hook up with our old friend, Route 66. That's right, the Mother Road again, and one of its more famous motels, the Wigwam Motel, which we stay in, despite the fact that we're confused by the fact that they're really concrete teepees, not wigwams. Morning comes, and with it, again, hunger. I have more expedition-worthy food. Hardtack. This is made from an actual Civil War recipe. This was eaten on ships and by soldiers. It's very nutritious, very tasty. The only downside is they say you can drive a nail with it. So dig in, guys, dig in. Darn tasty stuff. It used to be that if you were lucky, weevils would get to it first, so that it would make it softer. No?
I'm good. Fortunately, I have my proprietary cereal.
This is how they eat it in Sweden.
That's how they eat it in Sweden, yeah. So you've got your granola there?
That's got like fruit and stuff in it. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Can we have some? Hey, come back here, man. Come back here with that granola. When feasting returns, Jared and JC make motorcycle stew while I attempt meatloaf. Day 24 continues in Ontario, California, right over there. You might not know it as a major road food stop, but believe me, it is. All because of this gigantic truck city, which perches itself on the edge of I-10. Hundreds of thousands of big semi-rigs come through here a year, either at the very beginning of a run or the very end of a run. Sometimes they park at this city-state that's like, I don't know, Singapore for days waiting for an assignment. Is there a better place on the West Coast to find road food? I doubt it. My first stop, the Truck Stop Restaurant, which, true to its type, serves hearty goodness in the form of country fried steak, gigantic burgers, an impressive buffet, and eggs all day. Shakes aren't bad either. After talking to some drivers, though, I discovered that the real culinary story may not be in here. It's out here in the rigs.
Oh yeah. The only way you can make money is keep this door closed, and those things were turning.
This closed, that turning.
Yep.
I like that. I'm invited into the rig of John and Kathy Kahoski, a brother and sister trucking team. Oh, let's see what kind of stores you keep around. So you got plenty of juice, you got water, you got like looks like some pasta. And how do these work? You just push them out of the way?
I'm gonna say there's some rice
soup,
down there on the
rice,
bottom, and
chocolate wafers, one of my favorites. I think your Hershey bar may be a little soft, actually. Yeah, that's a little warm.
Got drinks and
that's basically a cooler turned sideways. I saw those down in the other.
yeah.
That also runs on 12 volt. This is like a camp stove that you guys use, or electric?
Yeah, it's a Burton stove.
Let me see that.
you buy the little.
Where do you get this?
Truck stops?
They sell this here?
Yeah.
I have got to have me one of these. I've got a 12 volt crock pot that I make stew in and stuff. I got peas in them now.
You can do the same thing with this.
How hot does it get?
You buy those little.
Oh,
aluminum-
it'll get hot.
You buy the little aluminum pans. You can put everything right in, that way.
That way
no
you don't
fuss.
get no messing up.
Just take that.
Oh.
Like I said, we've cooked steaks, potatoes, everything in there.
Caution, hot surface, 300 degrees.
We've got two of them. One we do the meat and stuff in. The other one we do our potato and vegetables. And another thing you can do is like cans of soup and those little individual things that the kids get, macaroni and cheese and stuff. You can toss them, can and all in there. Just pop it open just a little bit.
You think they sell these here at this?
Oh
this
yeah,
truck
they
stop?
got them in there.
As I scour the truck stop for a lunchbox cooker, my riding companions, Jared and JC, decide to take matters into their own hands, producing what they call motorcycle muffler beef stew.
The main ingredient, just happen to have a little stew beef.
Being French, of course, Jean-Claude thinks the main ingredient is wine. Several varieties, in fact.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare it and then mount it on the cooker and then attach this to the bottom of my muffler. And in about 200 miles, this stew should be perfect. Really. Jean-Claude, you have a lot of experience in the kitchen, don't you?
Yeah, a bit of this, a bit of that.
Well, you're French.
Yeah. Because of the occasion, we beat a bit of Merlot and a bit of Shiraz. What about that?
Notice that the boys are using a classical stew approach here. Cubed meat and aromatics, some fresh herbs. They're going to pour on a little bouillon to up the meatiness and, of course, top the whole thing with wine. After all, it's a braise, and that requires some liquid. And they're sealing it up in aluminum foil just for safety. Ooh, and not forgetting the seasoning. That's smart.
It was designed originally and sold as an accessory for a snowmobile. Take this, put it through here, put that there. We turn the oven on. And in about 200 miles, this should be good to go.
Back inside the truck stop, I have scored myself a 12-volt lunchbox cooker. Like a kid on Christmas morning, I break into the package. I ditch the directions. I spread out all the pieces and consider my culinary options. Luckily, the restaurant manager is a Food Network fan and is happy to kind of let me have run at the place. Probably a big mistake. I decided to make a traditional meatloaf, so I have to, do some sautéing of onions and then meat and eggs and all of that, and find that with my current condition, cooking is a little harder than usual, and what should take me about 15 minutes takes, I don't know, feels like 6 hours. Like Jared and JC, I intended for the motorcycle to do the actual cooking, only I wasn't going to be using heat exchange. I was going to be stealing electricity from Tom, in fact. So I bungeed on my little lunchbox to one of his cases and plugged in the 12 volt. A couple of hours, I'd have dinner. Our hotel may only be 15 miles away, but this is LA at 4 o'clock, so it takes 3 hours. By the time we arrive, we're hungry. Again.
Piping hot.
Well, it certainly looks like it has cooked thoroughly. Yeah. Wow. Shoot, hot. That is hot. Let's see how it's, very nice. That is road food. It's a very nice stew. We've had a couple of good stews on this trip, but I have to say, this is the only one that's been cooked by a muffler. Very nice, but hey, what I really want is a little meatloaf. Let's go over here.
Meatloaf, juicy on the inside, slightly crunchy on the outside. Beautiful, flavorful. Raw. It's raw. We must have blown a fuse in the bike. I'll have... Oh, bother. I'll go cook it in the car. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Oh. Ooh, steaming goodness. Looks done. And let's see how it is. Wow. This just goes to prove that, I guess, parking lot cuisine can be every bit as good as road cuisine. Gee, maybe it could be a whole new genre. I don't know. Guess I'll think about that up in my room. Wonder what those other poor saps are eating.
When feasting returns, a cop's culinary tour of West LA.
Day 25 finds us in Hawthorne, California, near Los Angeles International Airport. Why this particular stop? Because we found one of these, an actual lunch wagon. You've got no idea. Well, you might, but these are very, very important artifacts in the American culinary culture. Back in the late 1800s and into the early 20th century, the factories up in the Northeast would often have what were called night owls or lunch wagons parked outside them late at night so that when people got off the shifts, they'd be able to immediately get themselves something to eat. This idea evolved eventually into the diner, and the architecture then evolved on into the fast food restaurant that we know and most of us love today. So in a way, this, along with the Harvey House out on the Santa Fe line, was really the archetypal American restaurant. And the smell is pretty gosh darn good. Let's eat.
Breakfast may be the most important meal of the day, but for working Joes and cops on the beat, it's a hard meal to make time for. The solution?
The breakfast burrito. A 20th century invention, which is really flourishing in the 21st century. Even good for guys like me who have lost use of one arm. Actually, I could hold it here, but I can't get my mouth to it. So this is good. Also good if you're holding food and driving with the other hand. I've got, it's kind of a little hash brown action in there with some egg and some sausage wrapped up in a tortilla. And then I can vouch for you and say, I can say it's pretty good.
Breakfast out of the way, we can get down to serious eating. Luckily, I get to ride shotgun with a true foodie, Chris Cognac, who also happens to be one of Hawthorne's finest. Yep, rolling with 5 O's, the only way to eat these main streets. Our first stop, Dino's Hamburgers, which have been serving up the goods at 13128 Inglewood Avenue, Hawthorne, California since 1955.
Right, so here we are. This is Dino's.
Dino's.
All right, what are we going to get?
Zucchini, please.
Whatever else we want.
Fried zucchini?
Yes, fried zucchini. And a
pastrami dog.
And we'll have a pastrami dog, please.
Pastrami dog?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it again?
Pastrami dog.
I know. What's sauce?
Green salsa.
Green salsa. Okay.
Okay.
We'll pull out.
Pull
and
over.
look at our
Okay,
food.
thank
We'll pull
you.
it up. Here, I'll hold it. I got one good arm.
Oh my dear
God.
Lord.
It's a split hot dog stuffed with jalapenos, mustard, and pastrami.
That's just so wrong.
See, and you even get shrapnel too.
I think it's hot.
Mm-hmm. But in this case, fire good. Or hot oil. How many years is that going to take off the life of Mr. Alton Brown?
I wasn't going to do anything with those years anyway, man.
Hi, B&R Burgers? Hi, it's Officer Cognac here. Hey, I have a friend from out of town, and I want to get him that Monster Royal Burger. You know, the giant one you guys have? Okay. Yeah, I'll come pick it up in a few minutes.
Next stop on our beat, B&R Old Fashioned Burgers at 3512 Rosecrans Avenue, Hawthorne, California.
Are you ready?
Dear googly moogly.
Now that's a hamburger.
I'm afraid, Chris. Hold me.
Good thing I've got body armor. And it has your favorite thing, pastrami.
Well, what?
Deconstruct it, my friend.
Is that a fried egg?
Yes, that is a fried egg.
Lettuce, chili, pastrami.
1 pound of hamburger.
A pound of hamburger.
I will demonstrate this.
All right.
All right, my friends. Now, you have to look.
Do you want me to get you a towel?
No, I brought a stack of napkins.
Well, that'll start us.
This is going to be ugly. And now, remember we were discussing shrapnel?
Yeah.
We're going to see shrapnel.
Will body armor take care of this?
Oh, my God. Look at this. I can't get around it. Look at that.
I have to look away. But I can't look away. Oh, I have to look away.
It's like a car wreck.
It's a car wreck. It's a big train wreck. How is it?
Big. Now that's a burger, my friend. Did you get the egg? Look at it. It couldn't even get the entire thing. Oh, there's a great sandwich place. There's a market up here. That's an Argentinian market that has amazing sandwiches. They're called matumbres.
Matumbre?
Yeah, they're little finger sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then they have, just great, like, beefsteak sandwiches. It's a takeout. I mean, they have parking stalls, and then you go in there and you get them, and they have empanadas they make every half hour. I'm sure told me about it.
As soon as we hit the lot at the Continental Gourmet Market on Prairie Avenue, the manager Sergio emerged with lunch for 50. Obviously, Chris has got serious pull in this culinary jungle.
All right, here, I'll carry that.
Oh, God, it smells so good.
Oh, we need like a cop camper.
We do.
With like a fold-out table and everything.
A black and white RV.
Yeah, black and white RV.
Oh,
They
man.
have some lights on top and everything.
Then I could go across the country and
just eat cop food.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We find some shade and turn the hood of our cruiser into a buffet. First up, roast pork shoulder and loppy cheese sandwiches with mayo on homemade white bread. Yum.
It's so simple. Meat, cheese, mayonnaise, bread.
Yeah, but that bread is not, that's not Wonder Bread there, fella.
Yeah,
All the sandwiches and pastries are wonderful, but the little empanadas, now those are something special. Watch, follow the empanada. You ready? That's why it's great road food right there.
Pocket.
Go in the pocket. Anything that can fit in your pocket, it can come out at a moment's notice. Whoosh. I was saying, from now on, whenever you go to a town, you should hire an off-duty cop to be your culinary guide, because these guys know more about the food on the road than anybody else, certainly any restaurant critic.
Got that right.
There's a big difference between food that's fast for you to get and eat and food that's fast for somebody to make. I mean, all of these things, even those little sandwiches over there, the finger sandwiches, took a lot of time and skill with really good ingredients. The fact that we can get it quickly and eat it quickly certainly doesn't mean that it was prepared quickly. I guess there's a pretty big difference there. Most fast food in America, most of what, they say that the average American dines on something like 4 times a week, is really fast for the restaurant to make. And of course, we eat it fast as we possibly can, usually because it doesn't taste very good, which I guess makes some sense. But this is the kind of food that comes with a siesta, which I think is where I'm at now. When feasting returns, pepper balls and the Pacific. West to 11969 Hawthorne Avenue, the Foster Freeze. It was supposedly at this venerable ice cream stand that Beach Boy Brian Wilson saw a girl in her daddy's T-Bird and decided to write a song about it. Today, it's a cop hangout. We meet the chief, who fills us in on some local history.
I'll tell you this, just a little bit of the history of this city is that Hawthorne Boulevard here is a former state highway. And so when I first started here, it was still a state highway. And so thus, this is a main road. Even back into the 1930s, there used to be a trolley car that went down the middle of the street from Los Angeles. And so this was the main railroad route out of Los Angeles for commuters until people that make gasoline decided to put the trolleys out of business.
In case you never thought that there could be a connection between crowd control and food, behold the ammunition in the, was it like a riot version of the paint ball gun. This, what is it you guys do with these?
It's a pepper ball. It's a less lethal. It's basically...
what do you shoot it at?
At people who, maybe agitated.
Crazy people.
Yeah, things like that.
So this little pill, if we break it open, can we shoot it at the wall? No, probably not. Here. This little guy is full of capsaicin, or the pure heat-causing part, or heat of chilies. Oh, that's unpleasant.
It's supposed to be.
Somebody else do it. It's horrible.
Okay, come here, guys.
Go ahead.
If you put it,
wet your feet now.
He's got
run
a
it
bunch
across your tongue and then taste and breathe in at the same time.
Or just breathe in a bit.
No, he's faking. He's faking.
He is fake. Okay, here you go. Tom, now you've got to put it up to your nose.
Up in your nose.
Just put a little bit up in your nose, and then you just,
I got in the back of
just
my
a little
throat.
bit in the membrane.
This is like a game my son plays. It's called Ouch.
Ouch. Let's play Ouch. I'm not doing it again. I've already done it.
No, a little bit in your nose. No, you got it.
It's like snuff.
It gets in the...
Well, yeah, just if you put some in your membrane, you'll see what it's like.
Okay, so there is the contact point between cuisine and cops, a whole new one. And I guess if that hit you and popped, it would be...
It goes into your nose. Your crew's dying now.
Did you get nailed?
I got it big time going up there.
It's like nuclear snuff.
Ouch.
We head out of Hawthorne and into Inglewood. We can see the Pacific from here, but Chris says that Acosta Tacos at 4539 West Imperial Highway can't be beat. He's out of his jurisdiction, but not out of his element.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you ready for 10 pounds of burritos?
10 pounds of burritos, check.
No kidding.
Got it. Oh my gosh, it is 10 pounds of burritos.
And you can smell the jalapeno vinegar carrots in there. They'll clear you out.
I'm probably going to die soon.
I won't let you die.
Let's roll.
You're my partner.
Next stop, the Pacific. We've got to get to the ocean.
Yeah,
I've
we're
eaten
there.
my way halfway across the country on less food than I've had in the last 3 hours.
I'll have you to the ocean in no time.
Hit it.
And just like that, we're there. Despite our police escort, there are no screaming fans waiting with signs on the beach, and that's okay. We've got 20 pounds of tacos, which I am simply too full and too tired to eat. I'm just thankful for the view. We've covered over 4,600 miles and crossed 13 states in 27 days. Millions of tons of asphalt have rolled beneath our wheels, but in truth, journeys like this can't be measured in miles or meals. If they are to be measured at all, it is by the distances crossed within ourselves. Have I learned anything? Sure. I've learned that real road food is still out there, still being made with love and care by folks whose stories are worth telling. You may find it in a restaurant, or in a home, a church, VFW hall, or high school gym. All you have to do is take the asphalt less traveled, and I promise you'll find a meal worth your while, and maybe a good bit more.